Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to English in Fluency. I am your host, Alex, and I am so happy you have chosen to be here today. How are you feeling right now? Are you feeling motivated? Are you feeling tired? Maybe you are feeling a little bit frustrated with your English learning journey. If you feel that way, I want you to know that you are not alone. Many students feel this way. They feel stuck. They feel like they are studying hard. They are watching videos. They are learning grammar rules, but they are not making progress. Does that sound like you? Maybe you feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed is a great word. It means you have too much to do, too much to think about, and it all feels like a big, heavy weight. You look at English, a huge global language, and you think, how can I ever learn all of it? How can I ever become fluent? The mountain looks too high to climb. This feeling of being overwhelmed, is the biggest enemy of progress. It is the main reason why people stop learning. When a task seems too big, we often do nothing. We procrastinate. We say, I will start tomorrow. Or, I am too busy today. Or, I need to find the perfect method first. But tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes next month. And soon, a year has passed, and you are still in the same place. Today, we are going to change that. We are going to talk about the most powerful secret to learning English, or learning anything at all. It is not a special book. It is not an expensive course. It is not about studying for 8 hours every day. The secret is simple. Small steps. Every day, we are going to focus on building habits. A habit is something you do automatically, without thinking too much about it. Like brushing your teeth. You do not wake up and think, oh, I must remember to brush my teeth today. It is such a big task. No, you just do it. We want to make your English practice exactly like that. Today's lesson is a special B1 listening practice. We are going to explore this idea of daily habits. I am not just going to tell you about it. We are going to practice it together. This entire lesson is designed to help you listen, understand, and absorb the language. You will hear a story about someone just like you. You will hear explanations. You will get a chance to think and practice. Your only job right now is to listen. Relax. You do not need to understand every single word. The goal is to understand the main ideas, to catch the feeling, and to let the English words flow over you. This is how we build listening skills. Not by stressing, but by relaxing and absorbing. So, let's begin. Let's talk about the power of small steps and how they build habits that lead to big results. Why do small steps work so well? Imagine you want to build a large brick wall. If you look at the entire pile of bricks, thousands of them, you might feel tired before you even start. It looks impossible. But what if you just focus on laying one brick? You pick up one brick, you put the cement, you place it perfectly. You can do that. That is easy. And after you do that, you focus on the next brick, and then the next. If you lay just 30 bricks every day, you might not see a big wall on the first day, but after a week, you will see a small wall forming. After a month, you will have a significant structure. After a few months, your wall is complete. You built that huge, impossible wall, but you built it one brick at a time. Your English fluency is that wall. Each small practice session, even just 10 minutes, is one brick. The problem is that we are impatient. We live in a world of fast results. We want to be fluent now. We think that a 3-hour study session on Saturday is better than 15 minutes every day. But our brains do not work that way. Our brains learn best with consistency and repetition. That 3-hour session on Saturday is stressful. You will probably forget 90% of it by Monday. Why? Because you overloaded your brain. But 15 minutes every day? Your brain has time to process the new information. When you review it the next day, you are telling your brain, "Hey, this information is important. Remember this." This is how you move vocabulary from your short-term memory, which forgets things quickly, to your long-term memory, which keeps things for life. Think about it. How did you learn your native language? Did your parents sit you down for a 5-hour grammar lesson when you were 3 years old? Of course not. You learned by listening, a little bit, every single day. You heard your parents talk. You heard stories. You heard songs. You made mistakes. You tried to speak, and people corrected you gently. It was a slow, natural, daily process. We need to copy this natural process for learning English. We need to stop thinking of learning as a big, painful event and start thinking of it as a small, daily pleasure. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is just to show up, to lay one brick. Now, I want to tell you a story. This is the main listening practice for today. The story is called Maya's Journey. As you listen, just try to follow the events. Try to understand the character's feelings. I will tell the story in simple, clear English. Do not worry if you miss a word or a sentence. Just keep listening. The context will help you understand. After the story, we will talk about it. Maya sat at her kitchen table and looked at the pile of English books. There was a thick grammar book, a book of vocabulary lists, and a novel that her friend said was easy to read. Maya sighed. It was not easy to read. She had tried to read the first page 5 times, and she still did not know what was happening. She felt stupid. She had been learning English for 3 years. She went to classes, she did her homework, but when she tried to watch a movie without subtitles, she was lost. When a tourist asked her for directions last week, she froze. She just pointed and said, "There." She felt so embarrassed. She had a dream. Her dream was to work for an international company. She wanted to travel, to meet new people, to understand different cultures. She knew English was the key. But right now, English felt like a locked door, and she could not find the key. She opened her laptop and searched, "How to learn English fast." She found websites promising fluency in 3 months. She found videos of people speaking 5 languages perfectly. It all made her feel worse. It made her feel like she was the only one who was failing. She closed her laptop, pushed the books away, and put her head in her hands. "I give up," she whispered to the empty room. "It's just too hard." The next day, she was walking in the park, feeling sad. She liked the park. It was quiet. She often went to the small community library near the park. It was an old building, but it was cozy. She went inside, not to study, but just to be in a peaceful place. Mr. Harrison, the librarian, was there. He was an older man with kind eyes and a soft voice. He had worked at the library for 40 years. He was always reading a book, but he always looked up and smiled when someone came in. "Good afternoon, Maya," he said. "You look a little down today. Is everything all right?" Maya did not usually talk about her problems, but Mr. Harrison's smile was so warm. Suddenly, she wanted to tell him, "I am frustrated, Mr. Harrison," she said, her voice quiet. "I am trying to learn English, but I am failing. I study for hours, and I learn nothing. I think I am just not good at languages." Mr. Harrison listened patiently. He did not interrupt. He just nodded. When she finished, he was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled gently. "Ah, English," he said. "It can be a tricky friend. Tell me, Maya, how do you climb a very, very tall mountain?" Maya was confused by the question. "What? I don't know. I guess you just climb?" "No," he said, still smiling. "You don't just climb. If you stand at the bottom and look at the top, you will feel overwhelmed. You will think it is impossible. The secret to climbing a mountain is to not look at the top. You just look at the path right in front of you. You focus on one step, and then another step, and then another. You just keep taking small steps. And after a while, you look back, and you are halfway up the mountain." Maya was listening closely. "So, you are saying my English is a mountain?" "Exactly," said Mr. Harrison. "You are trying to climb the whole mountain in one day. You are looking at the fluency at the top, and it is scaring you. You are studying for hours, which is like trying to run up the mountain. You get tired, you get frustrated, and you give up. You need to stop trying to run. You just need to walk. You need to take small steps." "What kind of small steps?" Maya asked. "What if," Mr. Harrison said, leaning forward, "you stopped studying for 3 hours on Saturday? What if, instead, you just promised yourself 15 minutes every single day? Not studying, just spending time with English, like visiting a friend." "15 minutes? That's nothing," Maya said. "How can I learn anything in 15 minutes?" "You will be surprised," he said. "The power is not in the length of the time. The power is in the consistency. The power is in doing it every day. It builds a habit. It tells your brain that this is part of your life now. Can you do that? Just 15 minutes. For example, forget that difficult novel for now. Let's find something you enjoy. What do you like?" Maya thought for a moment. "I like stories about gardening, and I like cooking." Mr. Harrison's eyes lit up. "Wonderful. Let's find an easy English book about gardening, or a blog about cooking. You will read for just 10 minutes. You will not worry about understanding every word. You will just read for pleasure. And maybe you will listen to one short English podcast for 5 minutes. Something simple. That is your 15 minutes. Can you promise me you will try this? Not for a year, just for 1 week. 15 minutes. Every day. For 1 week." Maya felt a little spark of something. It was not motivation. It was curiosity. 15 minutes. She could do that. It was not overwhelming. It was just one small step. "Okay, Mr. Harrison," she said. "I will try. 15 minutes, every day, for 1 week." "Good," he said. He went to a shelf and pulled out a small, thin book. It was a children's story, but it was about a magical garden. The pictures were beautiful. "Start with this. It's an B1 level reader. 10 minutes of reading. 5 minutes of listening. I will see you next week." Maya took the book. It felt light in her hands. It did not feel heavy like her grammar book. She went home. That evening, before bed, she looked at the clock. She had 20 minutes before she wanted to sleep. "Okay," she thought. 15 minutes. She opened the book. The sentences were short. She understood most of the words. She read about a girl who planted a seed that grew into a talking flower. She smiled. She was not studying. She was reading a story. The 10-minute timer on her phone rang. She had read 3 whole pages. She felt good. Then she found a podcast called Simple English Listening. She put in her headphones and listened for 5 minutes. The speaker talked slowly about his favorite type of pizza. She understood almost everything. Her 15 minutes were finished. She went to bed feeling peaceful. She had kept her promise. The next day, Tuesday, was harder. She came home from work. She was tired. She just wanted to watch TV in her own language. The little book was on her table. She remembered her promise to Mr. Harrison. Ugh, fine, she thought. Just 15 minutes. She sat down. She read 2 pages of the garden story. She listened to a podcast about a man's cat. Again, it was finished quickly. She felt a small sense of accomplishment. She had done it. Wednesday and Thursday were similar. She did not always want to do it, but the task was so small, it was hard to make an excuse. It's only 15 minutes. It was easier to do it than to argue with herself about not doing it. By Friday, something strange happened. She came home, and she found herself looking forward to it. She wanted to know what happened to the girl and the talking flower. She finished the book. It was the first book in English she had ever finished. She felt a real sense of pride. It was a small book, yes, but she had read it. All of it. On Saturday, she woke up. Saturday was her old 3-hour study day. She felt the old stress rising. But then she remembered. No, just 15 minutes. She found a cooking blog in English and read a recipe for chocolate cake. It was fun. She learned the words flour, sugar, and whisk. She wrote them down in a new notebook. Not a vocabulary list, just a new words I found notebook. The next week, she went back to the library. Mr. Harrison was there. So? He asked, smiling. I did it, Maya said. I did it every day. And how does it feel? It feels good, Maya said, surprising herself. I finished the book. It was small, but I finished it. And I learned some words for cooking. Excellent, Mr. Harrison said. So, what is the plan for this week? I want to keep going, Maya said. Maybe I can do 20 minutes, 10 minutes of reading, and 10 minutes of listening? A perfect next step, Mr. Harrison said. You are not running. You are just walking a little bit faster. You are still just focusing on the step in front of you. So, Maya continued, 20 minutes. Every day. She found a series of B1 graded readers and started reading them. They were mystery stories, and she loved them. She found a podcast she really liked, one where 2 friends just talked about their day in slow, clear English. She listened while she was washing the dishes. It did not feel like studying. It felt like spending time with friends. A month passed. Then 2 months. Maya's routine was solid. 20 minutes every day. Some days she did more. Some days she was so interested in the mystery story that she read for 40 minutes. She did not force it. It just happened. She started noticing things. She was at a cafe, and she heard a song in English. She understood the chorus. She was watching a movie and turned off the subtitles just for 5 minutes to see what would happen. She could follow the story. She could not believe it. 3 months after her first talk with Mr. Harrison, Maya was at the library. He was helping her find a new book. You know, Mr. Harrison, Maya said quietly, something strange happened yesterday. Oh? What was that? A tourist stopped me. He was lost. He was looking for the main train station, and I explained it to him. In English. I told him to turn left, to walk 2 blocks, and that it was a big white building on his right. I wasn't perfect. I probably made mistakes. But he understood me. He smiled and said, "Thank you so much." And I wasn't even scared. The words just came out. Mr. Harrison stopped what he was doing and looked at her. He had a very big smile on his face. Maya, he said, you are climbing your mountain. Maya thought about it. She was not at the top. She knew that. She was still a B1 level speaker. But she was not at the bottom anymore. She was not looking at the peak, feeling overwhelmed. She was walking. She was enjoying the view. She had built a habit. Her English was no longer a big, scary monster. It was a part of her day, a small, enjoyable part. Like that first brick, her 15-minute promise had become a small wall. And that wall was growing every single day. She had stopped trying to learn English fast. She was just learning English every day. And it was working. Maya picked up her new book, thanked Mr. Harrison, and walked out of the library, feeling not overwhelmed, but confident. She was excited for her 20 minutes that evening. She was an English learner, and for the first time, she truly believed she would one day be an English speaker. What did you think of that story? I hope you were able to follow along. That was a B1 level narrative. Let's pause for a moment and think about Maya. Does her story feel familiar? Maybe you have felt that same frustration. Maybe you have that same pile of books on your table. Maya's problem was not that she was bad at languages. Her problem was her method. She was trying to do too much, too fast. She was focused on the destination, fluency, instead of the journey, daily practice. Mr. Harrison's advice was the key. Let's break down what he told her and why it worked. He changed her goal. Her old goal was become fluent. This goal is terrible. Why? Because it is too big, it is not specific, and you cannot measure it. When are you fluent? It is a mountaintop goal. Her new goal was practice for 15 minutes every day for 1 week. This goal is perfect. It is small. It is specific. 15 minutes. It is measurable every day, and it is time-bound for 1 week. She could achieve this goal. And when she achieved it, she felt successful. That feeling of success gave her the motivation to continue. This is the psychology of habit building. Small wins create motivation. Motivation does not create habits. Habits create motivation. When Maya finished that first small book, she felt a real sense of accomplishment. That feeling was more powerful than any grammar rule. It was the feeling of, I can do this. She started to build a new identity. She was not someone who is bad at English. She became someone who reads books in English. Let's look at some of the key vocabulary and phrases from the story. I want to make sure you understood them, and I want you to be able to use them. The first word is overwhelmed. I used this at the beginning. In the story, Maya felt overwhelmed by the pile of books. Mr. Harrison said she would feel overwhelmed if she looked at the top of the mountain. Overwhelmed, is an adjective. It describes a feeling of having too much to do, or when something is too difficult, and you feel stressed and unable to cope. For example, when I started my new job, I felt overwhelmed by all the new information. Or, she felt overwhelmed by all the homework. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by English? I think we all have. The solution to feeling overwhelmed is to break the big task into small pieces. Another important word is consistent, or the noun, consistency. Mr. Harrison said, the power is not in the length of the time. The power is in the consistency. Consistency, consistency, means doing something in the same way, or to the same standard, over time. It means you do not stop and start. You just keep going. If you are consistent, you are reliable. For example, His consistency in practice is why he is a great musician. Or, she is a very consistent student. She always does her homework. Maya was not consistent before. She studied for 3 hours. Then maybe she did nothing for 5 days. Her new plan was powerful because it was consistent. A small amount of practice every single day is more powerful than a large amount of practice one time. Consistency is the secret ingredient. Let's talk about the phrasal verb to give up. Maya said, "I give up. It's just too hard." To give up means to quit, to stop trying. It is a very common phrasal verb. The race was too difficult, so he gave up. Don't give up on your dreams. Maya was ready to give up. Why? Because her goal was too big. When she changed her goal to something small, she did not want to give up anymore. The task was manageable. How about the word manageable? Man-age-abali. I just used it. If a task is manageable, it means you can do it. It is not too big or too difficult. You can manage it. 15 minutes of practice is manageable. 3 hours of study can feel unmanageable, especially when you are tired. Your first job is to make your English practice feel manageable. If your plan is study for 1 hour and you never do it, your plan is bad. Change the plan. Make it study for 10 minutes. If you do that every day, it is a good plan. Let's practice. I want you to think. What is one small, manageable step you can add to your life? Maybe it is not even 15 minutes. Maybe it is 5 minutes. What could you do for 5 minutes every day? Maybe you could learn one new word. You find one new word, you write it down, and you make one sentence with it. That is it. Can you do that? Yes, that is a manageable goal. Another good word from the story was accomplishment. Accomplishment. Maya felt a small sense of accomplishment when she finished her 15 minutes. She felt a real sense of pride and accomplishment when she finished her first book. An accomplishment is something you have successfully done or achieved, usually through hard work. Finishing a marathon is a big accomplishment. For Maya, finishing a small book was a big accomplishment. We need these feelings. They are the fuel that keeps us going. You will not get a feeling of accomplishment if your goal is be fluent, because you never reach it. But you will get a feeling of accomplishment when your goal is read 1 page, and you do it. You must celebrate these small wins. Let's review those words. Overwhelmed, feeling like you have too much to do. Consistency, doing something regularly and in the same way. To give up, to stop trying. Manageable, possible to do or deal with. Accomplishment, something you have achieved successfully. I am going to give you a sentence, and I want you to complete it just in your head. Or you can say it out loud. I often feel, are you overwhelmed? I want to be more. Are you consistent? It is easy to. Do you give up? My new goal is it manageable? It will be a small. Is it an accomplishment? This kind of active thinking helps you lock the words in your memory. Now, let's move from the story to your story. How can you be like Maya? How can you build your own small daily habits? Alex is back, and I am here to be your Mr. Harrison. I want to give you some very concrete, very practical ideas for your small steps. Remember, the rule is, it must be small, it must be specific, and it should be enjoyable, or at least not painful. Let's design your 15-minute daily habit. We can call it the Fluency 15. You just need to pick 2 or 3 small activities. First, let's talk about listening. This is a listening practice, after all. Your listening habit is maybe the most important one. This is how you learn the rhythm, the music, and the natural flow of English. Maya started with a 5-minute podcast. This is a perfect start. Your goal is not 100% understanding. Your goal is 100% listening. Just let the sounds wash over you. You can find podcasts for B1 learners. Search for B1 English Podcast or Slow English. You can listen to this channel, English in Fluency. You can find audiobooks for learners. The key is to find something you find interesting. If you like cooking, find a cooking podcast. If you like video games, find a podcast about video games. Listen for 5 or 10 minutes. That is it. What if you don't have time? This is the most common excuse. Alex, I am too busy. I understand. Life is busy. But do you have dead time? Dead time is that time when you are busy physically, but your mind is free. For example, when you are commuting on the bus or train, when you are washing the dishes, when you are cleaning your house, when you are taking a shower, when you are walking. This is perfect listening time. Put in your headphones and just listen. You do not need to sit at a desk. You can combine your English learning with another activity. This is called habit stacking. You stack your new English habit on top of an old habit. For example, after I brush my teeth, old habit, I will listen to 5 minutes of English, new habit. Or, while I drink my morning coffee, old habit, I will read 1 page of my English book, new habit. This makes it much easier to remember. So, for listening, your habit could be, I will listen to 1 10-minute B1 podcast every day while I wash the dishes. This is a perfect, manageable habit. Second, let's talk about reading. Maya started with a simple B1 graded reader. This is so important. Many students make the mistake of trying to read difficult novels or news articles too soon. This is frustrating. It makes you feel stupid. Graded readers are books that are specially written for your level. They use B1 vocabulary and B1 grammar. They are often good stories, mysteries, romance, adventures. Reading a graded reader is like what Maya felt. It is enjoyable. You can follow the story. This builds your confidence. Your reading habit could be, I will read 2 pages of my B1 graded reader every night before I sleep. 2 pages. That is all. It is manageable. Some nights, like Maya, you will be so interested, you will read 10 pages. But the goal is just 2. You will feel a sense of accomplishment every night. Third, let's talk about vocabulary. Maya started a notebook for new words I found. This is much better than memorizing a long list of random words from an app. When you find a word in context, in a story or a podcast you are enjoying, that word has meaning. It is connected to an image, a feeling. You are much more likely to remember it. So, your vocabulary habit could be, from my reading or listening, I will choose 1 new word each day. Just 1. Not 10. Not 20. 1. You will write that word in your special notebook. You will write the definition. You can write it in English or your native language, whatever helps you. And then, you must write your own example sentence. This is the most important part. Making your own sentence connects the word to your life. For example, you learn the word consistent. Your sentence could be, I want to be a consistent English learner. Now, that word is yours. So, let's put it all together. Here is a possible Fluency 15 plan. Listen for 5 minutes. A B1 podcast while you make coffee. Read for 5 minutes. 2 pages of a graded reader before bed. Vocabulary for 5 minutes. Review your old words and add your 1 new word for the day, writing 1 sentence. That is 15 minutes. It is focused. It covers 3 key skills. It is manageable. It is consistent. This plan, done every day, is 1,000 times more powerful than a 3-hour study session once a week. You are laying 3 bricks on your wall, perfectly, every single day. Now, I want to make this even more practical. We are going to do a short, guided practice. This is part of your listening habit. For today, I am going to say some sentences. These sentences are related to building habits. I want you to listen carefully. After I say the sentence, there will be a short pause. In that pause, I want you to repeat the sentence out loud. If you are in a place where you can speak, please do it. Speaking out loud trains your mouth muscles, your tongue, and your ear. It connects the listening to the speaking. If you cannot speak out loud, just say it very clearly in your head. Are you ready? Let's try. Listen and repeat. Building a new habit is not easy. I will practice for 10 minutes every day. Consistency is more important than intensity. I will not give up on my English goals. Yesterday, I felt overwhelmed. Today, my goal is manageable. I am climbing my mountain, one step at a time. I am enjoying the journey of learning. Every small step is a small accomplishment. I am building my confidence every day. How did that feel? Was it strange to speak? Good. It should feel like practice. Let's do it one more time. I will say the sentence. You repeat it. Building a new habit is not easy. I will practice for 10 minutes every day. Consistency is more important than intensity. I will not give up on my English goals. Yesterday, I felt overwhelmed. Today, my goal is manageable. I am climbing my mountain, one step at a time. I am enjoying the journey of learning. Every small step is a small accomplishment. I am building my confidence every day. Excellent. You have just completed a listen and repeat exercise. This is a fantastic small habit. You could do this for 5 minutes every day. You are practicing your listening, your pronunciation, and you are repeating positive sentences, which helps your motivation. Now, let's talk about the difficult days, because you will have difficult days. You will have days like Maya, when you are tired. You will have days when you are sick. You will have days when you are busy. You will have days when you just do not want to. These are the most important days. On these days, you have to remember the 2-day rule. The 2-day rule is simple. Never miss 2 days in a row. It is okay to miss 1 day. Life happens. You are human. You might be very sick, or you have a family emergency. It is okay. You are not a failure. You did not break your habit. The danger is not in missing 1 day. The danger is in missing 2 days. Missing 1 day is an accident. Missing 2 days is the start of a new, bad habit of not doing it. Your brain says, "Oh, I missed Monday. Well, I already broke my streak. I guess I will miss Tuesday too. I will start again next week." And next week never comes. So, on the day after you miss, you must do your habit. Even if it is just for 1 minute, seriously. If your habit is 15 minutes and you are too tired, just do 1 minute. Open your book, read 1 sentence, and close it. Open your podcast, listen for 60 seconds, and stop. Why? Because you are telling your brain, I am still a person who does this. I am consistent. I did not break the chain. This is so powerful. Do not let 1 bad day break your good habit. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Let's think about Maya again. What if, on that Tuesday, she had not done her 15 minutes? What if she had said, I'm too tired? Then on Wednesday, It would have been harder to start. She would have felt guilty. She would have felt like she failed. But she did do it. She pushed through that "I don't want to" feeling. And the task was so small, she could push through it. If her goal was study for 1 hour, she would have failed. But her goal was 15 minutes. It was manageable even on a hard day. This is why your daily habit must be small. It must be so small that you have no excuse. "I don't have time" is not a good excuse for 5 minutes. Everyone has 5 minutes. You just need to decide that your English future is worth 5 minutes of your time. I promise you, it is. So, let's review our big ideas for today. Number 1. The biggest enemy of learning is feeling overwhelmed. We fight this feeling by breaking big goals into very small steps. Number 2. The secret to fluency is consistency. Practicing for a small amount of time every day is much more powerful than practicing for a long time sometimes. Number 3. We build habits by starting with manageable goals. Your goal should be so small that it is easy to achieve. This gives you a feeling of accomplishment and builds motivation. Number 4. Your daily habits should be a mix of skills. A little listening, a little reading, a little vocabulary. This is a balanced diet for your brain. Number 5. Use dead time and habit stacking to find time in your busy day. Listen while you walk. Read while you drink coffee. Number 6. Do not aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Use the 2-day rule. Never miss 2 days in a row. It is okay to be human, but get back on track immediately. You have been listening to me, Alex, for a long time now. This has been a very long listening practice. How do you feel? Is your brain tired? That is okay. That is a good feeling. It means you have been working. You have been building your English brain. You have been laying bricks. You have listened to a story. You have learned new vocabulary. You have practiced repeating sentences. You have learned a new strategy for your English journey. You have done a lot of work today, and I am proud of you for sticking with it. This whole session, this long time we have spent together, is like one of those big 3-hour study sessions. But the real work, the real magic, does not happen today. The real magic happens tomorrow. Tomorrow, what will you do? Will you go back to your old ways? Will you feel overwhelmed and do nothing? Or will you be like Maya? Will you decide on one small, manageable step? This is your call to action, my request for you. I do not want you to just listen to this and forget it. I want you to do something. Right now, I want you to decide on your Fluency 5 or Fluency 10, your 5-minute or 10-minute daily English habit. What will it be? Maybe it is: I will listen to one 5-minute B1 podcast every morning. Maybe it is: I will read one page of an English book every night. Maybe it is: I will learn one new word and write one sentence. Choose one small thing, not 5 things. Just one. Make it your promise. I want you to write it down. Take a piece of paper and write it down. My daily habit is. And now, for the most important part of this, today is day 1. You have already done your listening practice for today, just by listening to this. So you have already succeeded on day 1. Congratulations. Your job is to do it again tomorrow, and the day after. This is the end of our lesson today, but it is the beginning of your new journey. You are no longer trying to climb an impossible mountain in one day. You are now a mountain climber, focusing on one step at a time. You are a wall builder, laying one perfect brick at a time. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me, Alex, here at English in Fluency. I hope this lesson was helpful. I hope you feel inspired, but more than that, I hope you feel prepared. You have a plan. It is a simple plan. It is a manageable plan. And it works. If this lesson helped you, please subscribe to our channel, English in Fluency. We will be here with more B1 listening practices, more stories, and more practical advice to help you on your journey. But my most important call to action is this. I want you to come back to this video, or leave a comment right now. In the comments, I want you to tell me, what is your one small daily habit? Write it down. Make it public. Make that promise to yourself and to our community. I want to read your plan. Will you read for 5 minutes? Will you listen for 10 minutes? Will you learn one word? Let me know in the comments. I will try to read as many as I can. Your comment is your first step. It is your promise. Thank you again for listening. Keep practicing. Be consistent. Be patient with yourself. And remember, every small step is a victory. You can do this. I will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye for now.